A very good morning to everyone. This is Madhumati GP of 3rd BCom AF to welcome you all for the auspicious day. Our college is conducting a webinar on how to publish in H-Index journal. A small cheers and great welcome makes the program successful. Let me invite Mrs. B. Krishnaveni, Assistant Professor, Department of Accounting and Finance, to deliver the welcome address to the webinar. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning to everyone present here. A warm welcome to all of you. A national webinar on how to publish in H Index Journal conducted by Department of BCom Accounting and Finance. I cordially invite our resource person, Professor Dr. Ajay Poddar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Home Sterling Global University in India. I heartily welcome, sir. Next, I welcome our respected principal, sir, Dr. V. Nagajodi. Heartily welcome, sir. Our beloved Vice Principal, ma'am, Dr. N. Sujata, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Next, I welcome our Honorable Secretary, sir, Lalit Ujain. Welcome, sir. Next, I heartily invite Dr. C.P. Prakash, sir, IQAC Coordinator. Welcome, sir. And heartily invite our colleagues and our students of our college. Welcome, all of you. Once again, I welcome all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a time to introduce our chief guest. I would like to invite Mrs. S. Sharmila, Head, Department of
ஏய் என்னப்பா இந்த மாதிரி படுத்துற இங்க அடிப்பா சீமையாடி பக்கத்துல அடி
Presidential Address. I request our beloved principal, Dr. V. Nagajodi, sir, to deliver the presidential address. Welcome, sir.
So very good morning to one and all. Respected our chief guest, Dr. Ajay Poddar, Pro Vice Chancellor, UM Sterling Global University, Haryana. I cordially welcome you, sir, for this national seminar on how to publish articles in H-Index. And it gives immense pleasure on behalf of Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College. I cordially welcome you, sir, for this particular program. And I'm also thankful to our management, our secretary, particularly Mr. Lalit Kumar Jain ji, for granting permission to organize this program online. I'm also thankful to our management members, Suresh Rathod ji, our joint secretary, and Mr. Nemichan Kataria, our president, Sri Chandra Prabhu Jain College, and all other management committee members. And I'm also thankful to the Department of Accounting and Finance for the wonderful initiative taken by Mrs. Sharmila in organizing this particular program. Because nowadays, in higher education, the publication of articles is one of the most important aspects. And all of us today, there are a large number of things are taking place as far as higher education is concerned. And the publication is one area where India is lagging behind. And particularly when it comes to publications in H-Index journals is very, time consuming, and very few people are capable of doing it. And today, an expert is with us, and he is going to give a instruction to all of us. What do you mean by publication in journals? And what do you mean by the publication of articles in H journals? So, sir is going to share with us expertise and excellence in front of us. So, with these few words, I will hand over back to the session to the organizing committee for further proceedings. Thank you very much to one and all.
Thank you, sir. This is the time to introduce our chief guest. I would like to invite Mrs. S. Sharmila, Head, Department of Accounting and Finance, to deliver the chief guest introduction. Please, ma'am.
Yes. Good morning to all. This is Sharmila, Department of BCom
சார் இந்த
Accounting
இது
and
வந்திருக்கா சார்
Finance.
உங்களுக்கு இந்த இது
Yes.
வந்திருக்கா இதான் இந்த
Today,
இது
I am very glad to introduce Professor Dr. Ajay Poddar. Ajay Poddar is working as Pro Vice Chancellor in Om Sterling Global University, Haryana. He has a remarkable career of 27 years in a leadership role. He has a proven expertise in both verticals of university system, that is academics and non-academics. He has a doctorate in management, digital marketing, along with MBA, PGDM, and MCOM. He is a professionally trained IT professional and a certified expert in business communication through British High Commission, Delhi. He has served at top organizations such as All India Management Association, Delhi, Nazir Monji University, Mumbai, IMS, and Maharaja Agrasen University, Himachal Pradesh. He also had served Texile American University, Zambia, as their founding deputy vice chancellor under international assignment. He is a winner of India Most Impactful Vice Chancellor by Daily Indian Media in association with Power Brands, Asia Africa Development Council Excellence Award in 2018 in the area of education development and IT implementation. Winner of Rajistriya Gaurava Award year 2016 National Pride and Outstanding Performance India. Other position is about Dr. Professor Ajay Poddar is former Vice Chairman of National Academian Committee of Zambia Chambers of Commerce and Industries, member of Aggregation Inspection Committee of Higher Education Authority, Government of Zambia, permanent executive member of the Economic Association of Zambia, current editor in chief of International Journals of Technical Research, national convener for curriculum design in the management of commerce subjects through Bhatia Shikshans Manjal. We are very proud, sir, to introduce for our national webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, sir, good morning. Good morning. On behalf of Sri Chakravarti Team College, I cordially welcome you on this.
Thank you, Dr. Nagajoti ji and Samila ji and the other people. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, Professor.
You are able to hear me?
Yeah, you are audible, Professor.
Correct. Thank you.
Professor, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, Professor.
Yes. So you are able to hear me?
Yes, Professor. Yes, Professor.
Yeah, it is actually getting echo. Anyway, let me start it with my presentation. So first of all, I am thankful for the institute and the director, the Dr. Nagajoti ji, for inviting me for such a wonderful topic that is relevant for today's faculty and the research scholar. You see that the publication is become an integral part of uh, the faculty life and the academic nature. Once the UGC has bring out some stringent policy that your promotion, your increments, all are related with all have been made related with the publications of the research journal. Uh, I let me start it with that why we need a publication and what is actually the publication. You see, the publication can be certain kind of publication, but when we are talking about the faculty publications and other kind of publication, what UGC is looking for, that is more or less is a research publication. Means you will be analyzing some data, you will be collecting some data, and on the basis of that data you will be bringing certain kind of result or outcome with that. But many people actually make certain kind of the research paper which is relevant only for the theory, which is only for the you can say that those are the review paper. That will, I believe, it is my own perception, my own opinion, that that should not be bringing into the category of the research paper. Research paper needs a correct kind of the data collection, and then you will be applying certain kind of the analysis tables, whether it is a correlation coefficient or the ANOVA table or other kind of thing. So with that, I am starting my presentation. I hope you people are able to see my presentation.
Yes, sir.
You are able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it is on full screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So as Shamila has in starting, she said
Yes,
that
sir.
I am working in Om Stirling Global University. This university is in Ishar, Haryana, and I am taking care as a Pro Vice Chancellor over there. Okay, today what we will be learning, we will be learning about the basic of research publication, that what is actually required when you are going for the publication. What is the research publication, I already have explained you, and we will be giving the special stress on H-index publication, as the topic is what the organizer have chosen this topic. So what is research publication? So research publication is to making the scientific information publicly available and allow the rest of the academic audience to evaluate the quality of the research. There are various types of publications like scholarly journals, professional or trade publications, popular or general interest magazines. So there, those are the research publication where you will be bringing the publication. It means that you will be giving certain scientific information to the public. On the basis of that, some other person will utilize them, and then they will be bringing next level of the research in that area. What is the purpose of the research publication? It is through publication that the research, including its scientific and practical contribution, is disseminated to others in a particular field. So, as I said, that your research publication will be giving the utilization, or it will be helpful for the other publication who wants to do the next level of the publication. So, research publication is having that kind of purpose. On the basis of that, it actually prepare. So, it's mean that your research publication should not mere the theoretical writing of the text, but it has to have the actual analysis of the data and the research. Okay. What is difference between research and publication? So research articles are published in journal magazines, with papers are presented at conferences. A research article is an original research published in a peer-reviewed journal. However, a research paper is also original research published in a conference and presented as an oral presentation or as a poster. How many kind of publication we can have? We can have the periodicals that comes in the newspaper and magazines. Popular magazines are there. Then you have the trade journals. Then you have the scholarly journals, and you can also have the academic books. Like many university or institutes have their own journal to publish the research publication of their university and institute faculty, research publish, research scholars, and other schools also. What are the steps and descriptions of publishing paper? I believe that the audience I am having for this today's learning lessons session, we might be having the faculties, we might be having the research scholars, and we might be having the certain other kind of the intellectuals people. So I expect that they might be knowing that how the publishing process is there. However, to start it with, we can start it with that. First of all, we need to make a proposal, that what kind of the research we wanted to do in our research paper. Once you send that proposal in, for that you can say that that is your abstract that actually give you certain give you the information that what you are actually going to do in this research paper. Then you will be making a manuscript. Once you are preparing the manuscript, let us say the draft research paper, then you will be sending it to some of your peers to review them and give the results. That what kind of the editing or modification is required to make it a certain level of paper. Then you will be sending it to your publisher and publish for the acceptance and the price required to be paid. Language copy editing, technical editing, and typeset proofs. Certain time, what happens that the publisher itself they do the copy editing or technical editing, or they do the typeset proofs. But it is always better that as a writer or as an author of your publishing your paper, you should make the paper as this uh, the best of your effort, that it has to be have the good choice of the words and correct grammar, technical editing, like where you wanted to have the comma or where you wanted to have the full stop or other kind of thing. Then the invoice payment, you will have to pay the payment, and after that the publisher actually publish the paper, and then you will have a link that your paper has been published or it has been printed in the books. So this is the process of publishing a paper. Now we will be discussing about what are the various ways or modes that how we can index our research paper in a journal, and what are the indexing bodies. These indexing bodies are not other, but they are just, you can say that these are the agency which have the many kind of the associationship with the publishing houses, and they will accept the papers from the author also, and they will have a bank of a huge bank of the research paper, and there your paper will be printed. So these journals are indexed, and those are the Google Scholars are there, Scopus journals are there, then you have PubMed also is there, AppSco is also very, very popular these days. Then we have MBase, then we have DOAJ, ISI indexing is there, and SCIE for the engineering and mechanical kind of thing. That journal is also there. Now, today's topic, what we wanted to give the stress on H index, that what is actually H index and how we can calculate the H index. So once your paper has been published in the paper, then you need to find out that whether your paper is quite good enough, and your quality of the paper, and its acceptance to the people will only be known about by certain kind of indexing, and H index is one of them. It actually rates a scientist's performance based on his career publication as measured by the lifetime number of citation and article receipts. And this is depends on both quantity, number of publication, and quality, that number of citation have been done by the people on your paper. Means you will be having many papers in your, you have published many papers, and for all those papers, how many times the people have seen those papers, that means the citation. Now, how you will be finding that your H index is at what levels? So definition of H index is a scientist has index H if H of their N papers, at least H citations each, and the other N to H papers have no more than H citation each. Now, how we can translate this definition? If you list all of your publications in descending orders of the number of citations received today, their H index is 10 if at least 10 papers have each received 10 or more citation. Means if you have 10 paper, you have published 10 paper, and each paper have got 10 citation, then it's mean your H index is 10. So I am again stressing here, again clearing here that how you will calculate the H index, that if you have 10 papers you have published in many research journals, and each paper has got a minimum 10 citation by the author, it's mean your your H index is 10 for all your those 10 papers. So this is H index, and as per the diagram you can see that your H index is coming here, and this is 10. If this line is here, then it's mean your citation uh, is more than 10, and each publication has got more citation. That's mean your H index will going to up 12, 15, 18. I hope that everybody has understood it. Next. Now, we already have seen in the last example that how we can have. So, your H index will never be more than your number of publication. Okay? So, means your if you have 5 public articles, then your citation, your H index will be 5 or more. So this is how it calculates. So it means that you need to, for getting more H index or more numbers, then it means that your publication has to go up. Then only your H index will go also up. Only mere citation will not increase your H index. Okay. This is how you will be seeing the H index, that first of all you will be putting the name of that author if you wanted to see that how much H index he has. The second is that you will be finding the articles, and then you will have the H index, that how many he has, and then how many has been cited by the people. There is another index, that is G index, and G index is calculated by given a set of articles ranked in decreasing order of the number of citation that they receive. Means your citation, if your citation is coming down, it actually calculate based on that. The G index is the unique largest number such that the top article received at least more than 2 citation for that. Means G index will be calculated that for one of your publication which has double of your total publication. Means if you have the 10 publication, and if one of your article, one of your publication has got more than 20, then your G index will be, you will be calculating on the basis of that. There is another index, that is I-10 index, created by Google Scholar and used in Google's My Citation feature. This is, I believe it is a very, very simple measure, and it is just another way to help to gauge the productivity of a scholar. this only the number of publication with at least 10 citation. So means if you have 20 publication and out of that 20 publication, you got 15 publication more than 10 index, then you have I-10 index. Advantage of I-10 index is very, very simple. It is and straightforward to calculate. And my citation is Google Scholar is free and easy to use. But the disadvantage is that it is only used by the Google Scholar. Another is field weighted citation. We will may not speak here about it. We will focus on H index. The citation database. What are the database we have by which we can find out that where the publications have been done? The one is that Web of Science, the second is Scopus, and third is Google Scholar, by where you can see your citation. Other tools available, that is Journal Citation Report. By there also you can see that how many people have notified your publication. They might have used in their research paper. That is Journal Citation Report. Then other indicators like national, essential, university, institutional. Those are normal citation by where you can see that. Now, WOS and Scopus subject cover of total records. So WOS actually covers the social sciences 14%, art and humanities publication 9%, and it basically focused on science-oriented publication, that is 77%. Scopus, they have physical sciences 25%. They have bibliological and environment sciences 13%. Social sciences and health and life sciences, they cover 60%. So every subject covers a different kind of, they stress on different kind of publication, where WOS focus on science-oriented publication. Scopus is actually focusing on social science and health and life sciences. Web of Sciences is covered under around 9,000 journal titles and 200 book series divided between SCI, SSSCI, and ASSCI. Electronic back files available to 1900 for SCI and mid 50 for SCCI and mid 70s. It's a very good coverage of sciences. As I said, that it has more coverage for the science-oriented journal. So when you are publishing, you wanted to publish your paper, and if your paper is science-oriented, there is a more chance that you should go for the Web of Science-oriented journals. They will have more chances for you where you can get accepted your paper. It is US and English language biased, full coverage of citation. It has a name disambiguation tools, limited downloading options. Whereas Scopus positioning itself as an alternative to ISI, it has more journal from a smaller publication and open access, where 15,000 journals and 7,550 conference proceeding. So means Scopus has more acceptability for the junior or the beginner of the publications or journals writer, research paper writers. So because of that reason, it is more popular between the beginners of writer like research scholar or junior or middle level faculty, because it has a pool based of more journals from smaller publisher, that is 15,000 smaller publisher has their journal listed there, and 750 conferences proceedings can also be have their possibility for printing the paper. They have sources data back more than 1960. Excellent for physical and biological sciences, poor for social sciences, does not cover humanities or arts. Then it has better international coverage. 60% of titles are non-US based. Back to 1996, example citation data for the last decade only. It's not cover to cover and not up to date. Easy to use in searching for source publication. It's clumsy in searching cited publication. Those are the disadvantages. Citation tracker work up to 8,000 records only, and it has limited downloading options. So those are the disadvantages. Firstly, we have discussed about the advantage, and then we have discussed about what is the disadvantage of Scopus. As we already talked about that how the Scopus journal it has been here. We have given in the diagram that how it has been there. Now, what is Scopus? It is largest abstract and citation database. 15,100 titles from the smaller and so from the STM and social sciences. 4,000 publishers are there. 15% elsewhere sources from their papers are coming, and 85% other publishers. It's focused on web informations. There are 240 million scholarly web items, e-prints, this dissertation. Academic library and database sources are there. It is fastest route to publish your full text. As I said in the earlier, that the Scopus has more coverage with the smaller publishers, so you have the better chances to get your paper published in Scopus. And how it covers? It covers life and health sciences. There are 5,900 journals. Then chemistry, engineering, and other, those are 4,500. Biological, environmental, those are 2,500 journals are there. And 2,700 journals cover social sciences, psychology, and economics. International distribution of titles, that from where they get their research paper. From these are the 7 continents from where they get their journal. So 15,100 journals they have listed, and those are having the classification continental wise like this. Now, geographical spread of Scopus contains Google Scholar. It's had a better coverage of all citation. It retrieved web, more coverage of references. Also, gray literature is there. Coverage and scope. Those are the challenges. Very limited search options. No separate cited author search. Back to 1900, not more. And yes, it is free. So this we already now how to calculate H index through Scopus. So we have discussed about that what is research, why we need to publish research paper. Then we discuss about H index. Then we discussed about various ways of where we can publish our papers. Now how to calculate H index through a Scopus. There is 2 ways to calculate it according to the way you want. If you want it for an author, firstly you should search the author. It will calculate it automatically for you. Then if you wanted it for a group of paper, then search them and then use the track citation and sort them out to count and calculate it manually. Author identifier functionality, that Author identifier enables Scopper user to avoid two major problems which affect most A&I database. How to distinguish between an author's article and those of another author sharing the same name. So you can identify how to group an author's article together, same as I said in the first point, that how you can distinguish between the same title but two author has published their paper, you can identify from there. This already we have discussed. Indicators of quality as measured published articles. Hmm, just a minute. So the quality of your paper can be measured in this below point, what we have mentioned in this slide. That first of all, the point is that number of publications, that how many publications you have done. But you see, it is we need to be very very rational also. I have seen many people who actually have published their paper in plenty. That in 1 year they publish their paper like 50 paper, 40 paper, 60 paper. But my dear colleague, that it is not right, it is not correct, it is not justified. One, quality, you should focus on publishing only the quality papers. Nowadays, people are outrightly not considering your papers which are coming in the not good qualitative journals. So you need to be focused on qualitative journals, and you should make not more than 4 or 5 papers in a year. It is my recommendation as the colleague that only 4 to 5 paper you should publish in a year, so that every paper should consume your 2 or 3 months, because the best paper only comes out after the efforts of 2 3 months. Now coming back to judging the quality indicators, first we have discussed about the number of publications. So number of publication, it's not only meant that how many papers you have published, but how rationally you have published your paper in a year. Then citation counts to these publications, adjusted or self-citation. What window should be used? 4 5 10 years. So your citation from the last 4 years or 5 years or 10 years, that will be counted for your quality measuring. Then citation per publication, how many citations have been done per publication. Then percentage of uncited papers. That also we need to see that if you have more than 25% of your papers which have not been uncited by the people, that means you are somewhere you need to have you need to check your quality of the papers, that why the papers are not citing your papers. Then impact factors, as we have discussed, that your publishing journal, where you are publishing your paper, what is the impact factors of that journal. Then diffusion factor, profile of users of research, who, where, when, and what. So at when you have published your paper, when the corona has busted, firstly 2 years back, I have written one paper in the Singapore Journal, and that was the right time when the people are actually looking for your research on the fiery subject like corona, that the people wanted to know. So your research paper need to check those factors also, that who is actually writing, where it has been written, when has been written, and on what subject it has been written. Those factors are also uh, taken care when we check the quality indicators for your paper. Impact factor, as we have discussed, H index, and H index we already talked about it. So those are the indicators for your quality measures. Now, example of scientific social network. These are the some website where you can check the papers. You can check that where you can put the papers where the citation have been done. By with this, you can check. Academia is there, LinkedIn is there, Mendeley is there, ResearchGate is there. You can check that which paper has been cited at how many times. So these are the screenshot of some of those. There you can see that how many times the research paper has been cited. So my dear students, this is what I wanted to bring into your information. However, it is not good enough. I wanted to give you a recap of H index. So we will be starting with the new slide. So I am giving you the next slide. Just give me 1 or 2 minutes.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. No
No,
duty
it's okay.
is more urgent than that of returning
No,
funds.
just a
For
minute.
that,
Just a minute. Just a minute. I wanted to get my audience revisit of today's learning. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Tell me, bro, sir.
Yeah, you are able to hear me?
Yeah. Yes, bro, sir. You are
Okay.
audible.
So I am taking the revisit tour to today's learning to my audience. So we have talked about H index, that what is H index. So the H index is a metric for evaluating the cumulative impact of an author's scholarly output and performance that measures quantity with quality by comparing publication to citation. The H index corrects for the disproportionate weight of highly cited publication or publications that have not yet been cited. How do I create an H index? We have talked about it. The value of H is equal to the number of papers in the list that have the same number of more citation. So it's means that if you have 10 paper, you should have all your 10 papers has to have more than 10 citation. Then you can say that your H index is 10. How do I find the H index for publication? So we have talked about it. The H index is calculated by counting the number of publications for which an author has been cited by other author. So we have talked about it. How do I create H index in Google? Google Scholar can automatically calculate your H index. So you just need to set up a profile first on Google Scholar, and then by default Google Scholar profiles are public, allowing others to find you and see your publication, and then it calculates the H index for you. What is good H index? Now the question is that what is good for H index? So as per the H reckons that after 20 years of research, if you are in the 20 years in the research, then H index of 20 is good enough, 40 is outstanding, and 60 is truly exceptional. H index shows that successful sciences do indeed have high H indices. 84% of Nobel Prizes winner in physics, for example, they have more than 30 H index for them. So it's mean that more than 20 H index is quite good enough. How to find H index in Scopus? Use the link to the left for find database, and that you will find out, my dear students. Then H index scores between 3 and 5 seem common for new assistant professor. So if you are a beginner in the faculty, then 3 to 5 is quite good enough, and 8 to 12 is quite good enough for the associate professor, and more than to 15 is good enough for the professor's rank. How many citation is good for a professor? We already talked about it. What are the advantages of H index? The main advantage of H index is that it combines a measure of quantity and impact in a single indicator. It has been calculated in different fields such as physics and biomedicine. Actually, it calculates in the physics and biomedicine, but nowadays it is being used in other areas also. What is the highest H index? Highest H index is some of the giants in the H index. They got around 150, 146 also in the Oxford University. What is Scopus H index? The H index is an indicator that under so ये भी हमने बात कर ली. We already have talked about it. What is a good citation score for all researcher? 5 or 10 citation per paper is quite good enough. How can I increase my citation? These are the 5 parameters how you can increase your citation. You can watch your title length and punctuation. Your title should be concise and elaborate. Take advantage of reprint servers and release your results early. So your results should be released so as much as early you will get the citation more. Avoid mentoring a country. You should not mention your country name, your title means your designation or something else. Link your paper to the supporting data means as I in the beginning as I said that the research paper has need to have the data, has to need to have the analysis based on the data. If you have that, then your citation will be more, and cut the hyphens. Otherwise the people will not find out you because the people will not tend to use the hyphens between the words. Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay. What is average that we already have talked? The H index important for a journal. The H index serves as an alternative to more traditional journal. Impact factor metrics in the evaluation of the impact of the work because only the most highly cited articles contribute to the H indices. So means if you have a good journal, then only you have the possibility to get the H index. For we will might be having the research scholar also as our audience today. So for them, I wanted to say that one or two, if you have the H index, one or two means if you have two publication and you have the indexes of H index 2, then it is quite good enough for you till you are not getting any kind of full-time position as academician. So this is what I wanted to discuss today. I hope that my learners, my audience might have got a glimpse that what is research and how to publish the paper, what is we need to keep in mind when we are printing, when we are going for a good paper, and what is H index, what we need to take care. So this is all about the research and H index. I hope it is useful for all. Over to you, the organizer. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, no duty is more urgent than that of returning thanks. For that, I like to invite Ms. Jancy J, second BCom AF, Department of Accounting and Finance.
A very good morning to all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this national webinar. A special thanks to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Ajay Poddar, Pro Vice Chancellor, OM Sterling Global University, India. He is smartly explained about how to publish H-index journal and conveyed lots of information about that. Your thought and words are truly inspired us, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to do this webinar in a successful way. Next, I would like to thank our beloved principal, sir, Dr. V. Nagajodi, Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. N. Sujata, staff members, and students. I would like to thank CP Prakash Sir, Head of Department, IQAC Coordinator of Plant Biology, gives very good support for successful program. And finally, I would like to thank our System Manager Balaji Sir for wonderful technical support. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Doctor, you are on mute, I believe. Please unmute yourself. Your voice is not receiving me.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we can leave this platform now. Can we leave this platform
Can you
now?
please unmute your mic, sir?
Sarmila ma'am, please answer.
Principal, sir?
Yeah, we'll write up, ma'am.
Sir?
Yeah.
We'll write up, please.